And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Wednesday, November 19th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome on a Wednesday. A little bit cloudy and overcast, but quite warm out there this morning. We welcome you to our program. And we welcome Robert McDonald this morning to talk about Cedarstone Bank. Robert, good morning.
Coleman, good morning.
You could have called in. I talked to your father yesterday, and he told me he was going to have to get somebody. He had a meeting to go to, and he wouldn't be calling in. And I was sort of expecting a phone call, but when I saw you, I know Robert would rather drive up here and be live in studio than talk on the telephone.
Best part of my day, Coleman. I talked to Bob last night. He is on assignment currently. He said, buddy, go to Donaldson and be happy to call in. I said, Bob, I love driving up. I'll be there live and in person. So I look forward to listening to the show when it gets after the recording.
You are here, and we're certainly glad to see you. And we can tell you that Robert is Vice President and Relationship Manager and pretty much takes care of things in Donaldson for Cedarstone Bank of Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson. Simple banking, simply better. Got to get that in there.
Got to get that in there, Coleman.
Well, we made the big announcement here last week, and I just wondered any reaction to that or anything about that you want to talk about, and if not, we'll move on to something else. It was a big announcement.
It was a big announcement, an exciting time, of course, for the bank, for our community, for our shareholders. A great Cedarstone Bank has had a great run as far as where we are now, but it's going to be even better in the future. I think Bob probably mentioned, First Financial Bank out of Indiana was looking to find a bank that has a culture that loves their community and their customers. They're looking to get in this Middle Tennessee market. They identified us. We went into talks. And the main thing for us is to make sure they understood, kind of our community, our customers, and most importantly, our employees. And they understand that. They're not coming in here to make a change. They understand the great thing that Cedarstone Bank has created and will continue to create just under a new name. And that's very important to us. It's exciting. It's going to really expand our footprint, for our customers. There's going to be different products and services that will allow us to do more things through the community. But it's an exciting time. It really is, Coleman, for us, for our employees, and for our shareholders.
We usually talk a little bit about lending money and about loans and the fact that you can get your loan at Cedarstone.
That's right.
So on. The Fed has lowered just a little bit recently. Mm-hmm. There's still talk that in December they might go a little notch lower. Has that created more desire for loans?
It really has, Coleman. Of course, even throughout this year, before the Fed started dropping rates, we saw loan demand has remained consistent. Another great year growth-wise. But how it's really impacted immediately when they drop that rate, when that prime rate drops, it really impacts the folks that have revolving credit lines, whether you have a home equity line of credit, and especially for our small businesses and our business owners, they have a line of credit that allows them more borrowing power because that drops right away. And of course, you pay on what you draw based on that rate. And so when that rate lowers, even by a quarter basis point, it can really impact that monthly payment cycle. Yeah. So we've seen that, and we do anticipate potentially another drop in December that will only increase in that going into the new year.
Well, being a lender, you pay a lot of attention to that, obviously, right. And no doubt learned a lot from your grandfather, Willie McDonald, when he was with you for a while at the Donaldson branch. So lending money is about like eating to you, I guess. You do it all the time.
I do it all the time, and we always laugh about it. It's always funny about lending money. It can be a little nerve-wracking sometimes, and the story, which we always have to tell, when Willie was still around and somebody would come in and see him, and he said, remember me, you gave me my first car loan back in 1972 or whatever year it was. He goes, no, that's okay. That meant you pay me back. So he would always, he remembered the ones that didn't pay him back, but he did not remember the ones that did. But lending money it's really a relationship. We talk about that too with Cedarstone. And again, when this change happens with First Financial, relationships are very important to them. It's going to remain that way with us. And having that checking account with us, having that relationship goes a long way when it comes to time to borrow money for whatever need that may be.
Well, the thing that to me has been unique about Cedar Stone, really from the beginning, you serve 3 communities all on Highway 70, but each has its own little niche and, well, in your case, clientele. But they're you have the same bank, but it's different. Lebanon is different from Mount Juliet. Mount Juliet's different from Donaldson. There are 3 distinct branches and three different offices there.
Three distinct branches, unique markets, and we've enjoyed serving those communities. But yes, that's very true. Right there on Highway 70, and you can find us right through there. But three really great communities that we love.
We always talk about the free checking account, and that has been with you from the beginning since April of 2004. You can still have a free checking account, and it's a great one.
It's a great product, and it's still around. It's totally free, Coleman. Online banking, you can use your debit card anywhere in the world. We reimburse that for an ATM fee, as they call it. Mobile deposit checks, if people who still want to write checks, we pay those for you. No minimum balance required. It's a great product to have, and you can come get that at Cedar Stone Bank.
Well, I know I've heard we're about out of time here, but I've got to mention this. Bob has mentioned several times if you write checks, and he said he doesn't. I have not. I don't write near as many as I used to, but I feel I almost have to write a few. Do you ever write a check?
Actually, I do, Coleman. You might be surprised by that. Not many, but I have wrote a few actually in the past few weeks.
Yeah. Well, okay. Then I'm not alone.
Yeah, no, sir. And thanks again. And I love your next guest coming up. But I know before we went on air, I'll be quick. I want to say hello to Dr. Paul Stum in Cumberland University. We were talking about him earlier, and want to say good morning to him. And I'm sure Mark will mention something about him as well. But want to say good morning to.
Well, the more you talk about him, the better letter grade.
Well, he's a great man. Just want to say good morning to him.
Thank you. All right. Robert McDonald, Cedar Stone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson. Simple banking, simply better. Thank you so much. Well, we're just about 11 minutes after the hour, and Mark Hinesley is here. Mark, let me say good morning to you.
Good morning. Boy, Robert made that easy. Good morning, Paul. Got that out of the way right off the bat. Hope he's up and around.
Oh, well.
How are you?
I'm doing well, and you look fine this morning. You've been talking about Indiana University ever since I got here, football and basketball.
You know, since the mid-'70s, 1975, when I first became an IU basketball fan, football season, all that really meant up north was, thank goodness, basketball's right around the corner, and all of a sudden now, 10-0, got a spot at the big dance. I got my hat out. I got an IU sweatshirt. I'm driving my friends nuts right now.
I don't know how many games, if they might have 2 or just 1 left. I think it's probably 2.
They're 10. I guess they're 10-0 now. Well, maybe 11. I think they might be 11-0.
Well, they just
after
12,
Wisconsin. I think they skip Thanksgiving, and then they'll beat Purdue the week after that, and then on December the 5th or 6th, they'll play Ohio State. I feel bad for Ohio State. They'll end up with their first loss in the conference championship. And hopefully we'll meet them again in the finals.
Well, it'll be okay with me if they do, but I wouldn't bet on it.
I'm probably not going to bet more than I can afford to lose.
Well, you always bring a lot of information from Mount Juliet, from the Mount Juliet Chamber, and I'll tell you what, between you and Justin Beasley, we do find out a lot that's going on in Mount Juliet.
Well, Justin makes my job easier, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure there's about 3 or 4 of them because he seems to be everywhere, but such a positive influence, positive attitude, positive outlook. He's fun to have around, and he's one of those guys, you ask him, you just already know the answer is going to be yes.
Well, he maybe keeps us a little bit closer to the government, the city of Mount Juliet, especially the police and fire and all of that. But you, we find out really more about the Mount Juliet business community, which is what a Chamber of Commerce is all about. And you've been there. In fact, how long have you been at the Chamber?
Somebody asked me the other day, I think it's 28 years now, paid. I was pretty involved for several years before that. So one of these days, somebody might actually figure out what I do, and they'll say, hey, we can get somebody else to come in here and do that. So, but it's fun right now.
I'm going to disagree with that one. But we're always glad to have you and appreciate the information you bring. And I don't know what all you got to talk about today,
I started putting my notes together, and as I was adding stuff, it was like 52 card pickup. I'm like, I didn't really know where to start and begin because I'd like to touch on a number of things, but maybe before the break I can just mention I always like to sales tax. Thanks for everybody spending your money local when you can. It certainly helps, and our sales tax collections continue to show increases year over year the same month, so we're excited about that. Business licenses. Last year, for the year, we had 222 I think we had 222 last year. We already have 205. So we are probably getting close to 250 new business licenses in Mount Juliet, city licenses for this year. So that's phenomenal. And that you see those kind of increases. We could talk for days about where we're going to put them, where their customers going to come from, where's everybody going to live, and all of that stuff, how are we going to get them around in the traffic. And we'll figure that out, but that's 250 businesses or individuals that kind of went all in on Mount Juliet and said, we're going to invest our capital there in the hopes of making a profit. And that's always exciting. And that doesn't even...
Most of them, hopefully, or about
to
join the chamber.
They're either investors or they're future investors, one or the other. But, and we have not just the new ones, but we have countless businesses who have reinvested, improved, upgraded, added on to their parking, fixed their lighting, whatever it is. We got a ribbon cutting tonight at a McDonald's. The Gray family, they own quite a few McDonald's, and they have renovated the one out at the interstate by Cheddar's, if you know where I'm talking about, on Mount Juliet Road. So we're going to go out there and recut a ribbon there to this afternoon. I think it's 4 or 5 o'clock, something like that. So love to see the reinvestment. Take a second or third generation building. The owner says, hey, I can get more rent, or, we can draw more customers. Let's do an upgrade. And they pave the parking lot, put in new windows, paint the building, whatever. And it's happening all over town. So love to see that. Justin, I'm sure he mentioned the new Mount Juliet Police Headquarters. 27th of October, we had a ribbon cutting there. I'm pretty sure they're going to come and film episodes of CSI or something there. That is the most technologically advanced police thing I've ever seen on TV, bar none. It's exceptional. We might talk a little bit more about that one of these days. And I wanted to mention Cumberland, but I was made notes throughout the month, and I don't know who the theater people are, who the workers behind the scenes, or whatever you call those directors, but my wife and I had a chance to go over and see a play at the Heidel Theater a couple of weeks ago. That is great entertainment, folks. You ought to keep an eye on their schedule and go to a play if you can. I know I'm late now. I'll pick up where we left off.
It is time for a break here on Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by Absolute Kubota. Ride it off the lot. Ride it off your taxes. Visit Absolute Kubota. Take advantage of the Section 179 tax deduction when you buy new Kubota construction equipment, tractors, RTVs, hay tools, or turf products. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. There is a couple of accidents out here. At the moment, we're seeing heavy traffic volume develop 24 westbound at Bell Road, Hickory Hollow Parkway, all that traffic flowing in right now through Smyrna, coming in from Rutherford County. It's already slow, 65 south at Trinity Lane. We've already had a couple problems down through there earlier. As it builds through Mount Juliet, Wilson County traffic 40 west as you head towards Donaldson Pike. Hey, when you need dependable towing for a car or truck, call STR Towing and Recovery. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
It's the third straight home game at Nissan Stadium just before Thanksgiving as the Titans host the Seattle Seahawks this Sunday. Coverage begins at 11 with Farm Bureau Health Plan's Titans Countdown with the play-by-play call at noon. Tennessee and Seattle from the banks of the Cumberland River.
Brought to you by Bates Ford, the City of Lebanon Gas Department, Steve Moe Plumbing, and the Jewelers.
The Tennessee Titans on your sports leader in Wilson County, WANT FM 98.9.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
The Dancing Lights of Christmas, Tennessee's largest, longest-running, and most affordable drive-through light and music show is back. We're talking 3 million lights spanning a 2.5-mile route, all synchronized to some of your favorite Christmas tunes. After the lights, Santa's Village is loaded with food and fun, a petting zoo, pictures with Santa, even a helicopter ride above the lights. Take the short drive out to the Wilson County Fairgrounds to make some Christmas memories that will last a lifetime. Open 5 p.m. nightly through January 4th. More info at thedancinglightsofchristmas.com. Family owned and operated for over 15 years.
We continue here on a Wednesday morning. Mark Hinesley with the Mount Chamber of Commerce. He is CEO, that is Chief Encouragement Officer. We don't want to forget that.
Yeah. Hey, if any of these local businesses, if they need encouraging and they want a house call, I make house calls. I'll come and encourage you. We have mutually beneficial programs, that's for sure.
What's next?
Well, I'll tell you, we have a luncheon program. We always have our luncheon on the third Wednesday of the month, and today's that day. Usually have a couple of hours to get my thoughts together between the radio program and our luncheon. But today, Jim Shulman, he's going to moderate. He's, I believe, maybe government affairs or political science. He's been on the show before. He runs a program at Cumberland University. He's going to be kind of the facilitator. And we have Clark Boyd was going to come, but he has to go to a funeral. One of his counterparts, state representative in, I believe, maybe Montgomery County, passed away, and their funeral service is today. So regretfully, Clark had to bow out. But Senator Pody and State Representative Lynn will be there. We have a packed house, and they'll share their thoughts of what the legislature's challenges and opportunities are going to be in the new session coming up in January. What does the forecast look? We're nearly halfway through the fiscal year to see the revenues and expenses for the state. So that gives us a little preview of what to expect, an opportunity to ask them some questions. I'm glad that those of you that are listening and coming, thank you for coming. But if you'd like to know, but you're not going to make it to that, we have many programs, and I hope to touch on them, a few maybe that I don't usually talk about before I leave today. But the first Friday of every month, we call that your state connection. And every other month, it's a state representative. The other month is state senator. So we do that every month of the year. They take turns doing them. So we have a direct line to the state legislature for our advocacy. We track bills that go through that have an impact on business, and even some of them that impact cities, whether that's zoning laws or things like that. So, but then on the last Wednesday of the month, Mayor Hutto we'll do a whole program on what a great guy he is. But he set aside, when he first got elected, the last Wednesday of the month, Coleman, and he starts out in Mount Juliet, comes and just an open forum. Anybody, this is not member-based, this is community. If you're interested in me, he comes the last Friday of the month, and then, and if he can't make it, he sends a representative who takes copious notes and he'll get back with them. But we always have a great crowd there. And then at lunchtime on there, I think he goes out to Watertown and has lunch and opens up come and see me if you're out there, and then finishes off, I believe, at the Lebanon Chamber in the afternoon on that Wednesday. And that's not an elected official who, 90 days before the election wants to reach out and touch the people and hear he's been doing this every month for how many years now, a decade or more. And so a lot of people take advantage of that. And then, of course, we have we have at least 3 dedicated networking events per month. We have a faith-based program, which is kind of unusual, but it's very popular. We call that Leadership by the Book. Biblical principles into your business, how you can be successful at both. And that's on the third Friday. We have a very robust Leading Women program. They meet quarterly. And I think they're going to partake in a big summit that's going on next November, if I'm not mistaken. community development is a big part of what we do, and that meets the second Friday of every month, and we've got programs lined up all the way out through at least March or April next year. And our monthly luncheons, like I said, we have that legislative forum today. Our assessor of property, Stephen Goodall's our December program. Cedars of Lebanon. Whoever thought that Mark would be the representative for the Friends of Cedars of Lebanon State Park committee or whatever. So I found myself getting engaged with that and falling in love with the program they're doing. And gosh, I had no idea. The number of people that were there, the tourists that come out there, what an awesome, awesome asset that is to our community that probably a lot of people have to get in there. They think they got to get in their truck and pull their camper and go somewhere else, and they got it right here. So I'm hoping to help educate the community and share the good news that's going on out with the folks at Cedars of Lebanon State Park. Let's see, then we have in February, we'll have our State of the City address with Mayor Maness, and then in March we'll have our State of the County address with Mayor Hutto. There's just something going on all of the time now, and probably we're averaging probably 2 ribbon cuttings a week. And we go out now and do individual videos and interviews that we record. Some of them are live. We're doing that all over the community. Multiple people are going out and kind of the word on the street, if you will, and doing things to promote local businesses that you never know. I mean, you think about it. If you can get 2 customers a day at spending $10, that's $100 a week. All of a sudden, you got $5,200 in sales that you might not have otherwise gotten. And that's a $10 sale before lunch and a $10 sale after lunch. So I promise you folks, every little bit helps.
Now, I've got to ask, how big is your staff? All this you're talking about doing, I mean...
There's 3 of us.
Well, I know you're very active, there's no question, but and just 2 besides you.
Yeah, that's it. Michelle and Allison, without them, it wouldn't happen. And it's almost a plug and play. We have our, I'll say, areas of expertise, both what we're pretty good at. They got a couple, I mean, they're excellent at some things, but we kind of try to stay in our lane, but everybody's cross-trained so that any one of us on a moment's notice can pop up and go do an interview if we have to. Mm-hmm. I don't get on the computer and do the database stuff. That they don't need me messing that up, but they're fantastic at what they do. I was meeting for lunch yesterday with Scott and Tracy from Vanderbilt, and we were talking about communication and how we communicate with our customers and the challenges that, probably every chamber USA struggles with. How do you get 700, 1,000 businesses or individuals the information they want, when they want it, how they want it, why they want it? And that is a challenge that we go to bed facing every single night, and I promise you tomorrow will be the same thing. But we're working on that because if you're never going to go to a ribbon cutting, why am I sending you 50 updates on a ribbon cutting? But you might be interested in what's happening in the media or advertising business. That's what we got to be sending you. We're working on that. I was going to take a day off, but we don't have that figured out, so no more days off for a while. But, I think it's paying off. It's a different world out there. People need different things. They don't want to hear your voicemail. They don't want to, I'll get back with you. Can we do it next week? They don't want unreturned phone calls. They need it now. They really needed it yesterday, but now today they know they need it. So it's like 911 every single phone call. But it's fun. It's fun right now. So we did, since I was here the last time, we had our annual board of directors planning meeting, staff, everybody there. What's next year look like? What are we doing that works well? Where do we need to, where are we maybe a quart low? What programs are our customers asking for? How can we make the programs we have maybe a little bit better? We meet with all of our committee chairs and facilitators. We've got their dates. Every single program, every single date is already on the calendar for all of 2026. Wow. So I know in October when the networking is, and they're on board with it. They're prepared. Everybody has their checklist to make sure we're not missing anything. And then this is the time of year where we fill vacant board seats. And Noah Stroop, he owns a business called Move It Tennessee. Young man. He's a youth leadership Wilson graduate, Leadership Wilson. He is a young man. I don't even know if he's 30 yet, but he Great guy, full of energy. The guy wants to go door to door to get members, if that tells you anything. But he's also a doctor. He got his PhD, and he's on staff to some degree, I'm not exactly sure, at Cumberland, believe it or not. So what a breath of fresh air that comes in. I kind of remember when I was that age. But
what about retention of members? That's important. I'm going to talk about that.
No, it is. And that's, that's a challenge for not just chambers. I would imagine churches, they see people and then 2 weeks later, where'd they go? Yeah. No business keeps 100% of their customers. They might get them once, twice. They may go out there just for Easter. Who knows? I think when we figure out what it is that people want, if they even know what they want, at the end of the day, they need sales. They need lower costs, higher revenue, more profit, live a better life. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what they're trying to do. We have ways that we can help them maybe with some of their challenges. We certainly can't fix all of them, but connecting people with whether it's employees, customers, vendors, whatever. We like to help folks connect. We love to advocate for businesses. It can be a daunting thing. You can seem like the world's against you. And anybody who's ever went to work and closed that door and had to turn that sign around that says now open and hope there's money coming in, they know we promote their business, support them. So
I still love the saying of one of our former presidents, the business of America is business.
That's right. Main Street. That's where it starts at. We're very lucky. Wilson County. Bryce, I'm not sure what his last name. I apologize, Bryce. Tracy Pope. They're on the board for Cumberland Region tomorrow, and I just got their annual report. I'll tell you what, folks, if you're listening, you can sleep good tonight. Wilson County is in very good hands, and we are the envy of a lot of other places. And there's people working hard, and all I'm asking is you just spend your money local at Christmas time for us. And I hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
All right, and same to you, and thank you so much. Mark Hinesley, Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce, and that's part one of Coleman and Company. We've got more, and hope you'll keep it right here, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by Bates Ford and the low price tire guarantee on all tires every day. Up to 30 days after the sale, there'll be any competitor's pricing on the tires they sell. 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning in Williamson County. They're trying to clear up an accident. It's got traffic slow go here in Franklin. 65 northbound, right at Highway 96. Again, it's slow trying to get off that ramp there from Murfreesboro Road, Highway 96, onto 65 going northbound up through that section of Williamson County. Heavier traffic volume in a couple of spots. I-40 westbound through Mount Juliet right now, headed on over into Hermitage. 24 is loading up. Also westbound, 24 there at Bell Road coming in from Murfreesboro. When you need dependable towing for your car and truck, call STR Towing and Recovery. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is in a new location, 1746 West Main in Lebanon, across from Sports Village. Gregory Dental Group offers cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs.
No insurance? No problem. Call about the discount plan. Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322.
Cedar City RV, your destination for all things camping. Whether you're looking for travel trailers, fifth wheels, or anything in between, Cedar City RV has you covered. We proudly offer top brands like Forest River, Palomino, Rockwood, Coachman, and more. Plus, expert service after the sale to keep you on the road with confidence. Financing is available, making it easier than ever to start your next adventure. Visit us online at cedarcityrv.com or stop by our location at 1102 Sparta Pike in Lebanon to explore new and previously enjoyed models today.
We'll have mostly cloudy skies with a slight chance of a rain shower for today. Highs will be in the lower 70s. Cloudy with some fog possible tonight. Lows in the lower 50s, and then rain likely for our Thursday. Highs in the mid 50s. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your severe view forecast, I'm Drew Richards.
We welcome you to part 2 of Coleman and Company here on a Wednesday. Mark Noble is here, and he's all ready to talk about Cedar City RV, 1102 Sparta Pike. Mark, good morning.
Good morning.
And let me say happy belated birthday. Understand you hit the big 4-0 yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Well, was it a happy birthday?
It was. It was a good day. Just relaxed a little bit. Didn't do too much.
Yeah.
Didn't stay at work long yesterday.
Well, that kind of reminds me of a song, but it doesn't say 40. It says, I wish I was 18 again.
Yeah.
But I think I could say I wish I was 40 again in some ways. But anyway, we're glad to have you here, and you always do a good job telling us about all the RVs that are available at Cedar City RV, 1102 Sparta Pike. And I know you're chomping at the bit to go this morning.
No, I just kind of make it up as I go, Coleman. So, I don't necessarily have something said that I want to talk about, but I know next week we're going to get the weather coming down. We're going to see some stuff in the 28 degrees here in about 10 days. We've been very fortunate to have the weather we've had, but heated water hoses, something that people don't think about. Okay, a lot of people are living in these campers or they're camping, and our campers a lot of times are for 4 seasons camping or 3 seasons camping that they can hold the weather of 28 degrees. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that if you leave that hose out and you leave it on, that the water getting to your camper is not going to freeze. And that's a big problem that people have. And then that freezes, and then it gets into the inlet on your camper, and it busts it. So heated water hoses are something that's important. We do have them in stock at the store. It's something that you really need to consider. If you're living in one, you definitely need one. But if you're doing any camping that's going to be below freezing, heated water hose is a good way to go so that you can still enjoy that experience of doing it, because you've got heated underbellies, heated tanks. You need to heat the water coming into it. Mm-hmm. Just something that a lot of people don't think about.
I'm just wondering how long or what are we talking about with a heated hose here? It's just for the unit itself?
It's for the unit itself. So where you hook up to the spigot and where you hook up to the camper portion, to the inlet, we've got 25-foot or 50-foot hoses.
Okay.
And it's going to heat that hose to keep it above freezing.
Got it.
All right. A lot of them will work, even if it's below 32 degrees, even if it's negative 32 degrees, these hoses will warm up to above freezing. So, they do a really good job. But if it's below 32 degrees, it's definitely something that you need to have. Just tips, there's other tips that we have. You can come to the store, talk to us about what you can do to extend your season. Mm-hmm. We all know that campgrounds sometimes are full. We get there in the summertime and, hey, there's not enough spots. So a lot of people want to enjoy the winter camping, or they want to enjoy that campfire. So, because even though it's going to be 28 degrees, I think it's going to be 55 during the day. So it's still going to be a beautiful day, to go out and go camp and have a fire. So we can help you with some of those tips on how to extend your season.
What people need to do, just take time to come out and pay you a little visit here. 30, 40 minutes or an hour could even really change their whole ideas about camping and the way they do it, and do it in a better and safer way.
Absolutely, and we've got tips on how to live in them, how to camp when it's cold, things that you can do if it's warm out, for all seasons. It's just, we're not just there just to sell you a camper and go about your way. We're truly here to try to help you through the whole experience.
Well, we'll remind everybody you can find out a lot more if you'll go to the website, cedarcityrv.com. Cedar City RV, that's the name of the business, and just add .com to that. Get on the internet and see what it's all about.
Yeah.
What else you got?
I've got that. Our service department, we've got open availability right now. If somebody's got a big job that they need done that they've been putting off, and now's the time they're ready to put their camper away, they need a roof, they need a slide floor repaired, this is the time to get it done. Don't try to come during the season and do it, because sometimes we have to stretch you out 8 weeks and you miss a couple months, but right now we can definitely get that done. Sales are still great. We've got new campers coming in every day. I think we've got 12 going out this week. So that's a pretty good number of campers for the week before Thanksgiving. I know we got Thanksgiving next Thursday, so that's a good number of campers. People are still active in buying them. What that also means is we have a lot of trade-ins coming in. So if you're in the market for a used camper, come and check those used campers out, because we've got some used campers that have come in that you probably haven't seen yet. Quite a few of those. Little low on motorhomes right now, so if anybody's looking to get rid of their motorhome, we can help you consign that, get rid of that this time of the year. Might take a little bit into spring to get rid of that, but we'd definitely love to have consignments, especially if it's a motorhome right now, so we can get that inventory back up.
Well, you don't have to make an appointment. I guess it's okay if you want to. You can call 615-815-8650 and make an appointment, but you don't have to.
You don't have to make an appointment. You can come in. We unlock the campers when we get there every morning, lock them when we leave. So you can come in, browse on your own, look, which a lot of dealerships don't let you do, but come out. We'll show you a couple campers, so get you started and then let you go. I've had people go out there for 4 hours and go, oh, they're still here, looking, which is good, because you really can hone in on what you want.
Right.
And
you're available to answer their questions after they've made the tour or whatever.
Yeah, we can answer them during it, in between. Sometimes people want to start out on their own. Then they want someone to go with them to go, hey, I just want to know about these 2 or 3. And that's what we're truly there to do, is help. Also help you with the maintenance on it.
All right. Well, keep all this in mind. And Mark, have a good week. We'll be here next Wednesday and hope to see you then.
All right. Thank you, Coleman.
All right. Mark Noble at Cedar City RV, 1102 Sparta Pike. Again, the phone number is 615-815-8650. 21 and a half for the hour. Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell is my guest this morning. He's right here, been here for a good while. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
Rick is always on time, and on time for him is kind of like... what is it? Army, military time. If you're not there 15 minutes ahead of time, you're late. That's the way you run.
That's the way I run. I run on Charles Bell time. I was taught well. We all were. If we're supposed to be at their house at 5 o'clock, 4:45 is too late.
Well, we had a council meeting last night, city council meeting for the city of Lebanon, and we're here to talk about that and other things that's on the mayor's mind this morning. We say this quite a lot, but certainly I know you appreciate the opportunity, and we appreciate having you to come and fill up the time with what's happening in the city of Lebanon.
Well, I'm glad to be here, Coleman, and now that we're having a video done, I actually have to look nice, when I come out here too. Sometimes you're on the radio, you don't have to dress up, but now they're on video, we have to,
Well, we are live on Facebook. We are. Where do you want to start?
Well, I want to start. We did have a council meeting last night, but I really want to begin with some sad news. 2 days ago, Mary Baines passed away. Mary was Jeff Baines' brother or mother. Jeff was our commissioner of public services, just retired earlier this year, and she was a big part of this community. 91 years old, and she was a big part of Coleman Presbyterian Church, and she was at UMC for a long, long time, and the entire Baines family, Jeff, his brother and sister, all of them are a big part of this community. So I just want to ask everyone to keep them in their prayers for this loss. She was active until the very end. I talked to Jeff yesterday, and he said she never was really sick, and they got to spend time with her the day before. His son spent time with her just 2 days ago, just before she passed, and so, but they're going through a hard time. So I just want everybody to think about them.
Right.
So, but we did have a council meeting last night, and we had it was a shorter agenda this time, but we did have some things that happened. The first thing I want to say is that we have a lot of boards and committees that people volunteer on, and so last night I did reappoint R.D. Denny to the Lebanon Housing Authority Commission. R.D. has served on that board since 2018 and has done a great job, and he is willing to do it again. So I appreciate R.D. He's also been around here for a long time and have been a big part of the community. So I just want to thank him for doing that. Those are totally unpaid positions. So, to have citizens serve to help us out is always a great thing, and R.D.'s doing that. So I just want to thank him for that. Last night we did have a couple of votes that we have talked about previously. These were second readings, and I'll talk about the short one first. But I told you a couple weeks ago, Coleman, that I had proposed to put some street lights down East Main Street between the square and College Street, and so last night that did pass on second reading. So I appreciate the council supporting that, and I think that'll help.
Was it unanimous?
It was not. There was a lot of discussion about it. Councilor Burdine, she did make a motion to amend it to add to it to put lights down College Street over to Market Street and up to Gay Street. There's some businesses back there too. The council voted that down. It was a tie, and I broke the tie, and really the reason was because we don't know how much that would cost. And I think half the council and myself as well were not comfortable voting for something not knowing what the cost was. And then so that was voted down. And then she did make a motion to defer it, and that was voted down 4-2. But eventually it did get passed.
Well, I would just just say this doesn't mean that something additional can't be.
Oh, absolutely.
On. Just get to your main purpose in this general area here you started.
Absolutely. In fact, when Lee Clark and I, we've been down there for a long time looking at it. In fact, I told Lee, hey man, you need to get this going, and we've talked about it enough. But we talked about, that this is just the first step, but sometimes you have to take things one step at a time, and this is the first step, see how it works, and then we'll go from there. Because, I understand that, there's businesses throughout the square and there's start places throughout the square, but you have to start somewhere, and East Main's a good place to start. It's a spoke right off that circle, and there's businesses down it, and it gets dark there at night, and I felt, and the majority of the council felt like that's a good place to begin. That doesn't mean we're going to stop there, but we'll see how it goes and go from there.
All right, what was the next one?
Well, the next one was the zoning code update that we've been talking about for several years now. And so that did pass on second reading last night. It passed unanimously. So I do appreciate the council voting on that and passing that. It's something we badly need. It's something that, as I said before, it was been worked on before I became mayor. With the growth we're having, we really need to tighten that up, and so that got officially done last night. 2 weeks ago, we talked about how there was a motion to amend last time to take the industrial part out, keep the industrial zoning the way it is. Last night, the two councilors who passed on that, Chris Crowell and Phil Moorhead, they both, they said, this is too important. This is a 800-page document. It's too important to just jeopardize all of it for 21 pages. But they both still believe that future industrial property should have been changed, and I agree with that too. I still think that keeping industrial the way it is now is a mistake. I think it's a mistake for the future of Lebanon. And 2 weeks ago I said a lot of things about it, and I stand by everything I said. But ultimately, the zoning code got updated, which is really important for the future of this city. And I want everyone out there to know that for the residential zoning, the commercial zoning, this was a big deal. And this is really going to give the future city councils a lot more strength in the growth of this city and managing that growth. But the industrial part was taken out. It passed. My job and staff's job is to enforce it. We'll enforce it the way it is. This council, has been tough on annexations. They've been tough on zonings, used a lot of SPs. I know they'll continue to do that. They'll get a chance before they know it. Just last week, we had an annexation request for some more warehouses. So that'll be coming up here in the next few months. So we'll see how that goes. But ultimately, the entire thing got passed. I am disappointed that the industrial part is still the same. I do think that was a wrong decision, but ultimately, I think the majority of the update is the right decision, and I thank the council for doing it.
Okay, with that, we will take our break. Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell is here, and more coming up on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. And it's all brought to you by Absolute Kubota. Write it off the lot, write it off your taxes. Visit Absolute Kubota. Take advantage of the Section 179 tax deduction when you buy new Kubota construction equipment, tractors, RTVs, hay tools, or turf products. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's been a little bit slower than normal trying to get up through Williamson County from that earlier wreck on 65 northbound at Highway 96. Again, there in the Franklin area. It's been a little bit slower than normal as they clean up that earlier crash. Starting to load up really good here on 24 westbound. Trying to get out of Murfreesboro, Rutherford County into Davidson County. Coming through Antioch right now. 65 south starting to slow down just a bit here at Trinity Lane. When you need dependable towing for a car or big truck, call STR Towing and Recovery right here in Middle Tennessee. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Simple banking, simply better. Since 2004, that's been our motto at Cedarstone Bank. I'm Bob McDonald. We know that financial decisions can sometimes be complicated, but that doesn't mean solutions have to be. Whether you're buying a new home, renovating your existing home, or buying a car, or maybe you're a business that needs to purchase equipment for the building you operate from, we have all the technology that will allow you to do your banking online or on the telephone, or you can come in one of our beautiful branches and see our great people. With locations in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Nashville, Cedarstone Bank. Simple banking, simply better.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I'm Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell.
And I'm Sarah Haston.
The holidays are a special time in Lebanon. It's the perfect chance to shop local. Every dollar you spend at a Lebanon business strengthens our community by supporting jobs, families, and the heartbeat of our hometown.
The shops and restaurants here are what make our city unique. From gifts and meals to decorations and experiences, every purchase makes a difference.
This season, keep it close to home. Shop local and help Lebanon shine a little brighter this Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You know Dasher.
Ready for Christmas? AM 900 WKDA has got you covered. Starting in December, AM 900 will be broadcasting Christmas classics from 11 a.m. every weekday until 6 a.m. the next morning and all weekend long. Your favorites like Gene Autry, Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, and Bing Crosby.
Of a white Christmas.
Great artists from the 40s through the 70s like Brenda Lee, Johnny Mathis, Rosemary Clooney, Nat King Cole, and even some Elvis.
Have a blue.
Plus, we'll have a variety of modern rock, pop, and country stars, along with kids' favorites like the Muppets and Alvin and the Chipmunks. Get in the Christmas spirit, starting in December with WKDA AM 900.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Our final segment here for a Wednesday morning. Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell is here, and we've got more. You always bring a wealth of information, which I do appreciate.
Well, you know, we have a lot going on, Coleman.
Right, sure do.
Well, you know, first of all, I do want to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. That's going to happen next week, and I won't be back out here before that. But
and I guess city pretty much shuts down not only Thursday but Friday.
We will, and you know,
we will here too. By the way,
and we'll have we'll have a great Thanksgiving holiday, and I hope everybody out there has a safe one, especially people who travel and have families traveling here. And I just said I won't see you again before Tennessee and Vanderbilt play football either, Coleman. So. You know, I guess we'll talk about that next time, huh?
Well, we got to beat Kentucky first, and then Tennessee, and just like Mike Jennings and I talked about a little bit yesterday. Having to go to Knoxville is not something you look forward to if you're Vanderbilt.
Well, I will tell you, I'm glad it's there this year. I am glad of that. But well, I do have a couple of things, Coleman, to talk about here, and one is tomorrow night we have our schedule our Christmas tree lighting there at the Mitchell House. So that starts at 5. It'll go to 7, and we'll have children's choir singing as always. And we'll light the tree at 5:30. We'll have Santa Claus there as well, and we'll have some food trucks and some vendors there. And so invite everybody to come out. Now, I do know this, that there's a forecast of rain. So later today, Lee Clark and I will get together and see what that looks like and see if there's alternate plans. But ultimately, it is scheduled for tomorrow night, so I want everybody to know that. And there's always a big crowd. It's a lot of fun for kids, so put that on your calendar and come on out and join us. And but we'll make some announcements on the rain issue here sometime later today.
Well, be sure and let MJ or Preston know so they can pass it along.
We'll make sure everybody here knows, and so they can announce it on the radio as well. Also, yesterday we had a ribbon cutting for our new roads at Willard Hagen and Hagen Drives back in off South Hartman, where Sam's Club is being built. So we're looking forward to seeing more retail growth out there. But the road is open, so people can ride back there and check it out. And I think Sam's Club they're wanting to open up their gas pumps here pretty soon too. So their store will be a little bit later, but that's something we're excited about. That's a project that Coleman we worked on for 2 or 3 years, and it was hard. And Sarah Haston, our economic development director, she worked hard on it, as long as other members of our staff. And
And the council fully supported that. I really appreciate them supporting that because I really think that's going to be a big deal for Lebanon coming forward as far as sales tax revenue and providing places for people to shop and eat. And that's going to be a great benefit to us. One thing, too, I've sort of teased an announcement to you personally, Coleman, but today out at the new Hartsville Pike, TDOT's working on, they're going to change their traffic patterns.
Do you know what time? Is there a time?
I don't know the time. When I came,
I'll be honest. I've seen the things.
Yeah, it's been
new traffic pattern.
Yeah.
11:19, which is today, and I was wondering if it'd be that way even when I left.
Well, and I don't know. When I came out here, and you did too, it was still closed.
Right.
But so they're working on that today. So if you want to go down Hartsville Pike, you will go down the new entrance that's being built there, and on the bypass. And Coleman, you asked me during the break about the old part of Hartsville Pike. Well, the old part that's here in the city that's being shifted, it is now a local road. It's our road now. It's not a state route anymore, and it has to be renamed because it can't be Old Hartsville Pike. There's already one of those, and so the post office and 911, everybody they were at City Hall one day and they were trying to come up with a name, and I got a call to come down and to see if I could think of a name. And so I said, I think it should be named Hazelwood. And so it's going to be called Hazelwood. I'm not sure about the ending, if it's Hazelwood Pike or the ending, but so I came up with that name because of the old Hazelwood swimming pool that used to be out there that I've heard about for a long time, as not just a city historian, but a lot of people have told me how much fun they had at the Hazelwood pool. So I thought that'd be an appropriate name for out there in that area. So the old Hartsville Pike, that'll be our road, is going to be called Hazelwood. That'll be the new name of the street.
Okay, well, that's different. That's unique. I certainly remember Hazelwood.
Yeah, what did you go out there a lot? Did you?
No, but there was more than just a swimming pool.
Okay.
There. Some of the civic clubs actually used to meet in that old house that was there.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember being invited over there. Probably the first time I ever spoke at a civic club. And Ted Ezel was on, and Jack Hendrickson on the radio station. I always figured they didn't want to leave their rocking chairs on that night and sent me. But that's where the I guess it was Kiwanis Club met at that time.
Wow. Well, see, and I've always heard about it.
Yeah.
And there was sort of two pools. There was the Horn Springs pool down where I live,
right.
and there's the Hazelwood pool on this side of town. So I just thought that was interesting. I thought it'd be a good name, and there's nothing around here named that as far as the street goes. So that'll be the future of that street.
Change a few signs and it'll be official.
It'll be official. Also, last time I was out here, Coleman, we talked about some railroad crossings being worked on. And so they're finished now, and I appreciate everybody working through that. I know it messed up some traffic patterns. It probably caused a bit more congestion on Main Street and with people not being able to turn on some of those roads. But they're finished now and worked on, and so I can't.
The ones that I've seen are really nice. Now, not rough, and they've smoothed it over, a good asphalt job around the rails and everything.
I did say to council last night, though, Coleman, that we announced that and it started working. I started getting messages about when the rest of them are going to be fixed, so I do want people to know that is railroad property. R.J. Coleman did that work, not us. There was no cost to us. It was all them and TDOT. So I know this is just a first step, but there will be times when those other ones will get smoothed out too. But that is ultimately a railroad project. But we have we talk to them about it all the time. We really do, because that is a big deal to smooth out those tracks. But those three are done, and I appreciate those getting done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I only forgot on one of them. I had to turn around and go the other way one time. That's not too bad.
Well, last night Nicole, she was going to the mill for they had she was in the Wizard of Oz, a stage local production. By the way, they're going to have another production coming up. It's a Wonderful Life. And I think they're using some of your radio equipment out here.
Yeah. Susie's been working with them quite a bit on that.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But so last night they had the cast party for the Munchkins, all the kids, and so Nicole went to that. She was headed to the mill, And she called me. She said, "Well, I can't go that way. It's blocked the railroad." I said, "Oh no, it's finished. You can go that way." So it was done. I appreciate all the hard work because I know that was difficult for traffic. I really do. But
well, as far as the railroad goes, I mean, I don't know where you draw the line or if they can be forced, if they have to be, but I'm sure they want to be in good standing with the people in the community, but still, they're probably spending quite a bit of money.
It is. I'm sure it costs a lot. As I said, I don't know how much, because, it wasn't us, but we work well with them. We really do. And, NERA, which is the Railroad Authority, which I serve on, all the mayors and there's some citizens through all the cities that track runs through and counties. They're on that, and it's a great partnership. It's a great relationship. And it's like anything else. It's just you just have to do it and get to it. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of crossings out there, and but we do talk to them about it all the time. And but ultimately, it's their job to do, and I'm sure it does cost a lot. Another thing that I do want to mention, Coleman, is we're coming into the holidays and Thanksgiving. It's a big shopping time. And November 29th is Small Business Saturday.
Okay.
And so that's a day where we have the community bucks that people can pick up now and spend. But, that's a day where people can shop local and really support our local businesses. And, I always want to highlight that because our local businesses, they invest in our community. These are local people and shopping here, shopping in town, it helps our sales taxes, to be able to provide services. So it helps everybody, but not just on that Saturday after Thanksgiving, but every day, support our local businesses. It's really important to them, and we have a lot of people who've invested in business throughout our city. Obviously the square, but also other places as well. And so get out there and spend money with them. Obviously Christmas is a big time for gift shopping, but all year long is important. They're open all year, and so support them throughout our entire city. And but this day is a special day because it's a big shopping day, and a lot of people work hard to do everything they can to make sure people spend money here and with those people.
All right, Rick, time's up. Thanks for your visit. We'll see you next time, and our best to you. Happy Thanksgiving and all of that.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Go Vols.
Go Vandy. Till tomorrow, I wish you a wonderful day.